Good evening everybody, this is Jackie Hayes, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Perth, WA, and tonight's challenge was to do a Father's Day card, and these are my two that I came up with. I hope you like these two. I used a good man. I'm going to do the one with the little girl on the shoulders, in his arm rather. I like that one, and it's a good man stamp set that I've used, and here this is. And for the inside I've used the being a good dad starts with being a good man. So that really says everything for Father's Day. The other little bit that I've used is a new set, and this is a hostess set, and it's Summer Days, which is the trees, and the this one's got the kite on it, the little boy flying the kite, and this has got the rabbit, the dog, and the butterflies. It's got the inside tree as well, which is good for just doing a simple card, and it's got the same saying on both of them. So I'll get started. The card I've used is Whisper White, and it's cut at A5 size, and it's scored at 10.5, and I've got the middle, which is 14.5 by 10. The black one is 10 by 14, and the front white is 9.5 by sorry, that one is 14.5 by 10. This one's 14 by 9.5. So we start with the Whisper White first. And what I did, I stamped onto a piece of note paper, and it's got sticky on one side, and then I cut it out so it's got the same shape as the stamps that I'm using. Just going to stamp in Memento Black. If you're going to colour it in, which I have done for this, and I've used blends, you really need Memento Black, because if you use StazOn or any other one with the classic black, the stamp set, the blends run, and then you don't get a clear picture of what you're doing. So I'm going to just mark that out first. So that's that bit taken care of. Now I'm going to put this masking piece on, and I'm going to just lay it down just a fraction above the top. Don't want it right at the top, because when you stamp it, it leaves a white mark round it, and I don't want that. I'm going to do the double trees, and it looks like he's walking through an avenue. Put plenty on it, and put it down like that. Just keep pressing really hard to make sure you've got it all over. That looks good. Yep, that's perfect. So you can see there's no white marks around the head, because if you put it right up, it looks like it's got a halo around it, and you don't want that. So now my next bit is I'm going to just stamp on a dog and a rabbit, and put the dog there, and I've got the rabbit on the opposite side of my my block. That looks like the dog is chasing the rabbit. So then move them out of the way. I've got some butterflies that's here. I'm going to put one there, and might just put one in the trees. Yeah, you can only just see the ones in the trees, but that's fine. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this bit in the center, and I didn't colour this one in. I thought I'd leave this one just plain black, but if you did this one and you wanted to colour the little girl in at the bottom, that's fine. I like to leave some things as they are, and I'm do the saying at the same time. That's perfect. So there's the inside finished. I'm quite happy with that, and I will then put this into the middle, and that puts that out of the way. Then I'm not getting anything stuck on it or any ink on it. Perfect. If anybody wanted to have a workshop, or even get some friends together to hold a workshop without actually having anybody come to the house or having a party, you can hold a workshop between friends, and if you get over $300 you can get this stamp set for $26, which is really good buy for that. Now, next step is I'm going to just colour this in with the blends. I'll move this out of the way first. Put that out of the way. And I used the blends for his trousers, which are Smoky Slate, dark and light. This is a dark one, and it's got a thin line and a thick line. The thick line is for the brush, and the thin line is for the pen part. It's very thin, that. So we'll just do some outlining and shading, and that's what the blends do best. They shade. So that's the dark bit. It doesn't take long to do this shading, the blend. When you come to put your next coat on, which is the light coloured, swirl your blends round, just go round in a circle and mix up the dark as well as the light, and that way then you will get them blending in nicely rather than the lines. Might just colour his feet, his shoes in the dark. So that's that one out of the way. With the little girl, I've used her light blends Poppy Parade on her top, and and the dark Poppy Parade on her trousers. When you are using the blends, it doesn't matter how much you do. If you're only doing a little bit, always put the lid back on, because they are alcohol based and they will dry really easy, and you don't want that at all, because it costs money every time you let one go dry. Right, now I'm going to do the dark Night of Navy for his shirt, and just to use the folds of his shirt and the creases. Then I've got the light Night of Navy and doing the swirls again, just to fill that in. Right, for the for his hair, I'm using the dark crumb cake. And the same for the dog and the rabbit. So that's a little bit. I'm going, the little girl's hair I've done in light daffodil, Daffodil Delight, and that's that bit done. For the skin tone, I've used light Petal Pink. Just manage your feet and his arms, her arm and his neck. And that's the colouring for this all done now. I didn't want a lot of colouring in because that makes him pop out, and him and her pop out to the trees. And with the masking it off, it looks like they're walking towards the trees. So now just going to layer that on top of that, and I will use my Tombow glue and lay that onto black. But I'm not going to use Tombow glue for the next layering. I'm going to use the dimensionals, and I've got some bits here that's the end of it that wants to just be used up, so I'll just layer that on. Oops. And that bit on there, and I've got a new dimensionals here. So there's me take your pick tool and just lift these off. seems a bit excessive when you putting edging bits on, but it's better to have a little bit more, because if they're sending through the post, you don't want this coming away from the base card. And pop that on there out of the way. Yep, it's okay. For my next step now, so that's laid up. For my next step, I'm going to use the new punch that's come out, and it's Lovely Labels Pick a Punch, and it's got 6 different ways you can do this. It's got a 1/2 inch, a 1 inch and a 2 inch layer there, and the same on that side, but it's got 2 different tops to it, so you can pick whichever top you want. For this one I used this one. For this one, for this card, I used this one. So you've got a choice, but the best way I've found to do this is, because you're going to layer it, and I'm going to cut it first. I might just stamp it first and make sure I get it right. And I'm going to stamp it with "You do a great job of being a great guy." So, and I've done that in the Memento Black again. And make sure I get that straight. Yeah, that's perfect. And for this now, you just need to put them both together at the top there. Doesn't matter about this end, because you're going to be sorting that out. It maybe just need cutting off a little bit. And turn it over so that it fits into the grooves properly. Slide it in. Keep sliding it until it won't go any further. And then press down. And when you pull it out, that's not right. That did really well, because it's not right. It moved. But that's not a problem. I can cut that bit off, and we can do that again. And just make sure it stays in straight this time. Yeah, that's straight. That's better. So you see, even I can make mistakes, and I've been doing it a long time. So there's a little bit that you've cut off. Now if you pull that down, it's even all the way around, just how you've done it. And I'm going to put that with my Tombow glue, and put that on there like that. Just make sure it's level. Yep, that's better. And I'm going to take this mini cutter, mini trimmer, and I'm going to cut off this little bit that I don't want. And I'm using this because I can never get my cut straight, which is, now I know it is. And I'm going to put that on this end. That out of the way, and put some dimensionals on this. Take the tops off with the pick me up tool. And position that where I want it. And I've lined it up with the edge of the card, edge of the white card, so that you've got the black showing on this end. And that, my friends, is the card. You can see how easy and simple they really are. So that's the three that we've got done today, and hopefully you'll like what you see, and you will leave a comment, or share with your friends so that they can see it. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye for now.